Hello everyone, it's Jill from The Wandering Stamper coming to you from Melbourne, Florida. It's our last place in Florida before we head to Savannah, and today it's a little too windy to be out on the water, so we are gonna do some stamping today. A little bit of stamping, a lot of cutting. So I wanted to play around with the Zany Zoo suite that's in the brand new catalog that just came out May 2nd. So if you'd like to see that catalog, click on my link below and you can check it out. This set is so cute. I don't always buy what I guess childlike stamp sets, but this one's so cute and versatile and I've been having a blast with it. The suite comes with, of course, the stamp set that's got some really cute sayings, and these animals are adorable. And then it has the coordinating dies that also give you some extra features. There's camping, there's music, there's just all kind of fun theater. So you get a little bit of these little extra dies that you can embellish your stamps with perfectly. So we have that. And then the suite comes with this cute ribbon. It's coordinates with the paper really well. There's the pink and the green. So that is very useful. And these papers, oh my gosh, let me show you these papers because they are so cute. There's 6 different designs, 2 sheets of each design. Of course, as always, they're double-sided. So here's the camping scene that we're gonna work with today. And then this is sort of a little, I don't know, household art, I guess arts and crafts page with a cute back design. This is a little traveling, outdoorsy one that's fun. And then you have this musical one, this one I refer to as the theater one. That's really, really cute. And then here's one where all the animals are dancing. It's just fun and happy. And then you've got these little birthday celebration guys as well. So everything's color coordinated. It's super cute. And the dies for some of these cut the things out that are in this paper. So we have the llama die, we have the alligator die, we have, what else do we have? We have the singing turtle. That's a die that's in the die set. And we have this little dancing kitty in the die set. So it's very versatile. And then we have this little raccoon guy holding the balloons. So you can actually, instead of stamping, use the dies, which is what we're gonna do today, just so I can show you how easy it is. You can cut these out with your scissors as well. It's just a really fun set. And it comes with 6 designs, 2 of each sheet, all double-sided. So you have plenty of options. So let's get started. So today I'm going to show you how to make a floating panel card. This card is so cute and it has an interesting little twist. It actually has a little floating panel at the top, and then you make a little stopper for the side. And you don't even have to have the stopper because when it's sitting up, it'll naturally, this has a stopper, it'll naturally stand, but the stopper just gives it some extra cuteness. So we're going to go ahead and get started. There's nothing hard about this card design. It's pretty easy. You're going to start out by cutting a half a sheet of paper, so it's going to be 8.5 by 5 1/4. I've already got my piece cut. I actually picked some coordinating paper. I'm going to be using these, so these all coordinate really nicely. So we're going to go ahead. So our paper is cut at 8.5 by 5 1/2. I'm using the black, and then we're going to do some scoring. It's going to be scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. I love this paper cutter because it makes it so easy to do this. So once that's done, I like to get my bone folder out and give it a little crease because you want this to fold well so that the panels do what they're supposed to do. All creased nicely, so it basically goes like that. So we're going to set that aside, and now we're going to cut the middle, and I'm going to cut the inside panel in pink, and I'm going to make it 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so that will layer. I'm going to actually do 2 layers on the inside. I got to see how big my paper is here. as I'm just using scraps. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 1/8. And 5 3/8. 1, 2, 3. This might actually be, that's almost that size. Love it when scrap paper works out. So then that is going to go layered right in here like that. And then I'm going to get a piece of white paper. And we're going to cut that white panel at 4 by 5 1/4. So 4, I'm going to cut it this way. By 5 1/4. Just gives us a little tiny margin. So those will all layer nicely. So we'll set that aside. And then we want to cut the inside panels, or actually not the inside panels, the outside panels. So I'm going to use this paper because it's so cute. So the inside panel, or I don't know why I keep calling it the inside panel, the Designer Series paper panels are going to be 2 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to cut this extra weird wonky. I was doing some fussy cutting on this. We're going to cut that out of the way so our paper's straight. Okay, so we're going to cut it. I'm going to look at it and see how I want it all to be. I think I want it to be this way. So I'm going to cut it 5 1/4. You'll see what I mean in a second. I'm going to cut this extra piece off. And then I'm going to cut these 2 inches. Now, you want to be mindful of direction if you're cutting with directional paper. Obviously, this is directional, so I want to cut it this way. So when I put these on, I'll show you what I mean. Let me get this cutter out of the way. So when I put these on my panels, they're facing the right way. And you also want to keep your designs matched up because they're going to be side by side. So it just makes a little bit more sense when it's glued on. Okay, so those pieces are done. And then I also created, just using rectangles that I had, this is the stitch shapes. It's no longer in the catalog, but I just enjoy it. You can use any rectangle dies you have. You really can use any size you want as long as it's not bigger than the card. And then I cut the flip side of that designer paper, has this cute design, so I decided to cut another layer here. So I cut that, and you can use any shape. This would work for circles, squares, rectangles. Like I said, you just don't want it bigger than the base of the card. So I already cut those. And then I cut a little piece for the sentiment. I did this ahead of time to save time. And then I fussy cut this little guy from the paper because I thought he was just too cute, walking through the forest. So we're definitely using the forest themed paper. And then I cut a circle out, which I'm going to layer behind him. So I'm kind of just building the front the way I want it. And then the last 2 pieces that you need are just 2 pieces of scrap paper. You could use any of the color cardstock you're using in your card. And this is cut at 3/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch. And then you're going to fold these in half like this. And these are going to be the little mechanisms that make your floating card work. So that's all done. So now we're going to start assembling and stamping. I'm going to set all of these aside. Now I made the stamping very minimal because I decided to use the cutout pieces. So we're just going to stamp a little here and here, but I also cut a bunch of these little elements out of the paper. Instead of stamping, I thought it would be fun to just pull them in. So these are all from that same sheet of paper. We've got some mountains, we've got some trees, this cute little skunk with the binoculars, and I just thought this little mouse with the butterflies was really stinking cute. So I decided to use that. So I'm gonna create a scene, but I think this is gonna be for a birthday. So I'm gonna start out by stamping happy birthday on this layer. Now I like to stamp sort of to the right because your little mechanism is going to land right around here. So I like to keep my little sentiments over here. So I'm going to use the Memento ink because I'm just doing black because it is a very basic color scheme today. And I'm going to stamp that on. I'm going to have to put my head in your camera. I'm sorry. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Easy peasy. And clean that off. Little tip, I get a bigger block that I know I'm not going to use, and I just pull out all my little stamps ahead of time and just stick them on the block so I don't have to dig around for them and I don't lose them on my table. So hopefully that's a little tip that will help you. The second stamp says "You're too wonderful." I think that goes really well with the birthday. So I'm going to just put that right here. And he's a little crooked, but you know what? Paper has two sides. So we're going to try it again. This time I'm going to move it down where I can actually see it. This is what happens when I don't want to put my head in a camera. That's a little straighter. I may end up being quirky and using the other one, but who knows. All right, let me close this ink up because an open ink pad is a disaster waiting to happen. All right, so what I like to do is start building my layers and then or building my base, and then I kind of add everything the way I'm feeling. So now if you flip your paper over because you had a boo-boo, a little tip, if you can see where you cut, just run your bone folder over it and it gets rid of that little distortion. All right, so this is gonna get layered on here. So I'm gonna get my silicone craft sheet out, move all these little guys over, and get my adhesive. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Stampin' Seal Plus because the person who gets this card is probably gonna use it a lot, and I wanna make sure all my little layers stay strong. So put that on there, and then just layer that on. It's just got a minimal little 1/8 of an inch border, so I the fun thing about these cards is they're quirky. If you don't get your edges straight, it's okay. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the pink. I like to always stamp first because if I mess up, I can turn it over without having to recreate all the layers. So if you're feeling lucky, you don't have to do it that way. All right, then this is gonna get layered on here. I just like the multi-dimensional look. I just think that's pretty. So now we're gonna lay these on, and I'm gonna look at it and make sure I have them in the right order. Now they're in the right order. So I'm gonna put adhesive on this side. Make sure you're going in the right direction. And just kind of layer that as straight as you can. You're not really gonna see the inside that much, so because you're gonna have your other panel over it. So now this is gonna go next to it. This is such a cute card, and you can use it. I actually went crazy when I learned how to make this fold and made a lot of sample cards for you to see because I just couldn't stop myself. It was a lot of fun. All right. Now when you put this layer on, you want to kind of make sure you're at the same height so everything looks like it goes together nicely. All right, so that's done. So now I'm going to go ahead and assemble all of this. Oh, I hate covering this paper up. It's so cute, but I have more. Anybody get like that? You have a favorite paper and you almost feel sad covering up the other side. Stampin' Up! Has the best papers, in my opinion. All right, that's done. And now you have a decision. You can glue him down flat, or you could glue him on here and add some dimension this way, or you could glue this flat down and put him some dimension that way. I think I'm gonna glue this down and put the dimensions under him. I'm all about the pop. So, and then you also want to think about where do you want your message and where do you want your pig to lay. So if I'm going to put that, I might put that there like that. He looks cute, or I could do this. Well, I may have just made my decision for myself. Got a little crazy here. Okay. I think I'm gonna put him here, like that. So then I'll put this right here. Now you could also put dimensionals on this and make this pop out. I kind of like that. Maybe we'll do that. Get your take my pick tool out. This is the fun thing about this card is you can kind of decorate as you go. A lot of time I kind of have an idea, but then when I start decorating it, I'll change it up and add different things to it. It's such a fun card. So I'm gonna put this, I think, right here. Boy, whatever fell, I hope it wasn't important. And I'm gonna put some dimensionals on here. I love these dimensionals. Ooh. I love this take your pick tool for applying dimensionals as well. It makes it very easy. And I just like to balance them out a little. And this is a great use for these little end pieces. When you don't quite want a whole one, just cut one of your edge pieces. I literally use every single piece on the sheet, even the stuff that's considered the waste. All right, I think I'm gonna put him right here so he looks like he's traveling along. Look how cute he is. All right, so he's done for now. I might embellish him. Now the next thing you wanna do is take your two little pieces that you folded in half. You wanna use a strong adhesive because it's gonna be wiggled around a lot. So I use the Stampin' Seal Plus for this, for sure. I don't know why mine is going wonky a little. I think because I'm still used to the old style glue that they used to have, I push too hard. I think that's why I'm always heading in the wrong direction. All right, so you want to just kind of eyeball the center, put that down, and then your other piece goes this way, and put that down. Okay, now don't let those touch, and then once that's down, then you're gonna center this piece. I just kind of eyeball it where I want it. Okay, easy peasy, look at that. All right, so now we wanna create the inside. So I think I wanna create a scene, but ultimately I want to make one or two of these pop up so that it creates a stopper. I think it's gonna be this guy because I love these little butterflies. And I'm also going to get these little dimensionals. So the mini dimensionals are the perfect size for the little parts. And then the big ones work for everything else. Put that there. Put that there. I think I'll use, I know I'm using a lot, but I know this card's going to get a lot of opening and closing. So I want to make sure it's got a strong stopper. I probably used way too much, but I like to be sure it's gonna hold up to being played with a lot, especially if I send it to one of my grandkids. I know they're gonna play with it a lot. All right, so usually I'll put that down. So we're gonna put this one, he's over here catching butterflies right here. See how that perfectly opens it? So then I think I'm also, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna open it and build it. So let's see. I could put this guy here and maybe some mountains here. I like to lay out what I'm gonna do. Look how cute. It just creates a nice little scene. And then I'll close it and see how I like it. So I think I'm gonna put the trees here. You could use liquid glue for this as well. I just have this out, so that's what we're using. And I'm gonna put him right there. All right. And then I think I'm gonna tuck my mountain in right there. Maybe I'll put them right there. And do a little mountain over here. It's a mountain range. And I'll put it right here. Okay, look how cute that is. What am I gonna do with him? All right, I think he's just gonna go over here. Look at that, so cute. So now, if I wanted to, I could do some coloring. I love Wink of Stella, so I might grab some Wink of Stella, and I'm gonna use a little to make these butterflies shimmer. If you don't have Wink of Stella, oh, it's so much fun. So that made those little butterflies have a little sparkle to them. And I think I'm gonna do that on the end of his nose. So he looks like he has a little wet nose. All right, so that's done. And I think he might need some of these butterflies because I love them. As you can tell, I love them a lot. I've almost used this pack up. But he's kind of cute. I think I'll put, whoops, a little butterfly. Maybe a little butterfly up here. I don't have any more littles. Ha, look at this, I've got another pack. You get 80 of these. I think this is my third pack I've opened, but I love them, they're so pretty. All right. I'm gonna call this card done. Look how cute. It was pretty easy. The little stopper's perfect. You have plenty of room to write a message in here. You could actually even put a lighter sheet of designer series paper over here or cardstock and also right over here, but this is plenty of room. So, and you could color these in, you could add flowers. There's just so much fun. So that's your front panel floating card. Let me show you what else I created. Here is the one I showed you earlier. I used the little raccoon guy. I colored his belly in with Wink of Stella and the balloons and his tail so that it's kind of sparkly. And it opens using these little balloons. I cut the balloons out with the dies, and then I put a dimensional under each one and just took a pen and drew the little strings, and it says something great to celebrate you. That's super cute. And here's the alligator, super fantastic mega news, which I used from a different stamp set I will have linked below. And it says, because you totally deserve it. I have a recipient in mind for this card, and the little bunny is the stopper, and I colored his moped and his tail with Wink of Stella. Again, we're not even, I ran my alcohol-based markers over these words. These are actually stamped on white paper, but I colored them in, just ran my marker over them and pulled in all the colors of the paper. No stamping hardly at all, except for the sentiment. And this is my favorite, the llama. My daughter loves to crochet, so every time I see this, I laugh a little because it reminds me of her. And then I used this paper that's left over that was a free celebration gift. I loved how it matched up, and look, the third panel actually matches up it well. So all three panels I cut together, and They match up perfectly. And then I put the dimensionals under this panel of striped cardstock so that the whole panel pops up, and added a little sentiment and a ribbon from the suite. And this little sloth is just too cute, just sitting there saying kumbaya. So this card is probably my favorite card. And then I wanted to show you, this is made with the Cheerful Daisy suite. I'm just in love with this set and this paper. And I use the embellishments that come in the suite. So basically I cut out the pattern, the paper, and this is also paper. These two pieces come from the bottom of this sheet of paper. So I cut the two bottom parts for this, and then I cut the rest to fit here. So I used only a third of a sheet of paper to create this, and it's just, everything's color coordinated. Then I stamped the flowers and die cut using the dies, one piece here, and raised it up to give it some dimension. And then of course this flower is my stopper, and it says, "Your friendship means everything. Wishing you the brightest birthday." We have a lot of summer birthdays, so I've really been making a lot of birthday cards. So that's this one. And then finally, well, actually there's two more. I told you why I went crazy. This is from He's the Man suite. And again, very minimal stamping. I used Happy Birthday, It's Your Day. And then these are all punch outs from that designer series paper, everything color coordinated. "Hello, handsome, you make me so happy." This is probably gonna be my son's birthday card, because every time he calls me, I answer the phone and say, "Hello, handsome." And he loves craft beer, so he's probably gonna get this one for his birthday. How cute is that? I'm running out of room in my space. And then finally, this is one I made using the Rhino Ready stamp set. It is an online special while supplies last. It's so cute. It says, "Hope your birthday is wild." I added some little flower embellishments, and it says, "I love you a ton." I cut out the little flower that goes with the stamp set and stamped the bird and cut him out with some grass, and there's plenty of room to write on, write your message right here. So there you go. Look how many cards. And this really didn't take that long to create. So hopefully you can see them all on my screen. I know it's quite crowded. So I hope you like this fun fold. It's super easy. It's very versatile. It fits in a regular envelope. And I think anybody who gets it will feel extra special. I will have a link to my online store. I am working on a brand new website, so hopefully that'll be up soon, and you can read more about this card on there. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on my next one, which will be lots of fun and I'm working on now. I hope you have a great day and make it extra special for someone.